I seen the whole thing. Somebody screamed, and then I looked over and the bus hit into the crowd, and then it just kept going until it hit the wall there.
Welcome back to the channel, and I hope everyone watching has had an amazing weekend thus far. Today is April the 14th, 2024. And before we get started in today's video, I just really wanted to say thank you to everyone who has actually subscribed to the channel, who may have liked it, who may have shared it with other family members or friends, and just say thank you from the bottom of my heart. I've only been growing this channel now about 6.5, 7 months, and I've really just lately started taking it more seriously as far as the content that I'm producing and trying to make sure that it's pretty informative at the least bit, and hopefully a little entertaining as well. Not every story will be fun like today's story, obviously, but I just wanted to still come and say thank you for those who have subscribed already and those that may help me along this journey to grow the channel in the future. Tragedy, it strikes again. And so I wanted to bring you two stories, one of which is coming out of the cruise terminal in Honolulu, Hawaii. And then we're going to be talking about another story as well from the cruise ship Holland America. According to a source at Holland America, they say they had a crew member who was reported missing when they docked in Fort Lauderdale on Saturday. After they had actually reviewed their security camera video, they were able to actually tell that this crew member intentionally went overboard around 9:45 that evening on Friday, while the vessel was actually still en route between Cuba and Key West. Now, I know I've seen a lot of chatter about different people asking, why did it take so long? How were they able to actually go from 9:45 that evening on Friday until that Saturday morning when it docked in Fort Lauderdale before they were aware that the crew member had actually been missing, been overboard, or whatever the case may have been? Well, here's the thing. You have security camera video that is kind of like the monitoring system for any type of an accident or incident that happens on board the ship. Some ships have what's called a man overboard system. Now, I know most of you have asked, why do they not have the man overboard system? Well, the problem is it can obviously be set off by the slightest thing. So you may have birds that are out flying around that may trigger it, or you could just have anything that is thrown overboard, unfortunately, that could set it off. And so based on the representatives from Carnival and different cruise lines that have actually commented on their different types of warning systems, they had actually said that by having this system, and if they had repeated false alarms, then basically what would happen is the importance of an actual emergency will become less because of the fact of false alarms after false alarms. So the next time that an alarm goes off and it actually is real, guess what? You all remember that story of what? The little boy who cried a wolf, right? And what happened? When it actually was a wolf, we all know how the story happened, all right? So that's just one of those things, you know. They already said that their hearts and prayers are out for the families or whatever. Now, I don't know if it's just me but it seems like there's a lot of people just jumping off these cruise ships lately. I don't understand what it is. I understand you could say it may have been from a passenger who was drunk or whatever the case is, but it just seems like the occurrence is happening too much. And like I said in a previous video, I just feel like at some point in time, the cruise ships are going to start putting up that glass barrier even higher on the deck. And then what's going to happen? Your viewing experience is not going to be that enjoyable because the next time that you go to that railing, you're going to be touching glass instead of the open ocean air that you would normally be used to touching, or feeling that nice breeze as you're out on the Lido deck, just enjoying the view, the scenery, the conversation, or whatever the case may be. So at this time, obviously, no one is sure why this crew member, out of all people, decided to go overboard. But as many vessels that are actually trafficked in between that area, you would think someone had seen or saw something by now. And so unfortunately, if it's been, a few days since now, the chances are always going to be slim for a person surviving in the temperature of the water, dealing with the currents or any of those things. You just never know how a person is equipped to survive a type of thing like that. Now, obviously, if you're a person of faith, hey, God can make anything happen. But once again, you still also have nature that is out there. You have, like I said, just the optics of just the water being overbearing for a person just being so small in a vast sea. So once again, really not sure if the person just may have been in a depressed state and just decided, hey, this is the way that I want to go, or whatever the case may be. But once again, as usual, offering condolences to the family and those that were affected by the situation. And hopefully we may be able to bring an update to the situation, whether it's good or whether it's bad. But anyhow, I would still love to bring an update as we find out more. Our second and last story comes out of Hawaii.
I seen the whole thing. Somebody screamed, and then I looked over and the bus hit into the crowd, and then it just kept going until it hit the wall there. It knocked over the cement, big cement block was pushed out, and the bus hit into the wall.
Florida ER nurse Janet Lightfoot is on a cruise with her mom. This morning, they were at Pier 2 at Honolulu Harbor, waiting for the shuttle to go shopping, when she saw this bus with a Hilo Hattie logo heading toward a crowd of people.
My instincts are to go help, so I ran over and kind of started triaging people and trying to help.
It just kept going, and my daughter yells out, "There's nobody driving the bus." And then poof, it hits the wall.
When this bus driver had gotten off of the bus, this is where I'm having an issue trying to figure out what happened. Did he actually engage the bus into the parking position? Or was it in a half neutral position? Or was something just terribly just wrong with the braking system in itself to where it just didn't engage itself in the correct position of park?
Honolulu police say at around 10:24 a.m., a 57-year-old male motorist dropped off customers at Pier 2.
So what happened is there was a bystander who was obviously next to the bus or somewhere in proximity close and let him know, hey man, the bus is moving. So as usual, the bus driver, he sees this, and what does he do? He tries to jump back into the bus to stop it. This is where we got another issue. So instead of him hitting the brake pedal, he hits the gas. Now I'm sitting here trying to think to myself, like, how does a person hit the gas instead of the brake pedal, considering that's the action you're trying to accomplish? My only thing is maybe it was that flight or fright type of thing where he may have actually positioned himself sideways, trying to get into the seat to stop it, and maybe just press the first thing that he felt, unfortunately being the gas pedal versus the brake pedal. I mean, that's the only logical conclusion that I can come up with, because all of us know when you're getting into a bus, which is different from getting into a car, what happens? You're gonna hit the brake first, then you have the gas pedal. But because he's getting onto a bus, it will be the actual opposite order, because he'll actually be hitting the gas before he's hitting the brake pedal. So once again, that is my take on maybe what happened. Maybe he was, like I said, just in a panic mode, obviously, because this bus is actually moving and he doesn't know, obviously, what to do besides try and get it to stop. And in the course of doing that, he hits the wrong thing. So the bus continues to go, and it goes until it hits two concrete barriers and it hits the wall.
Several EMS units responded to the scene. 6 people were taken to the hospital, including a 68-year-old woman who died of her injuries.
I'm a little shook up because, just watching it was pretty shaky.
It definitely puts a damper on my vacation. I deal with this every day, and I work in the emergency room, but this is just different. We're on vacation. I've seen the incident happen. The husband of one of the family members was there, and just sad, very sad that this happened.
These guests were part of cruising on the Carnival Magic at the time when they were hit at the cruise terminal. Police are still saying that they are investigating, obviously, because it just happened. They're concluding that speed was not the factor, but rather they're kind of pointing and kind of wondering if drugs or alcohol may have been a deciding factor in what happened. I'm not really sure if that was an issue as well. I know that if somebody might have been drinking on the job, obviously their response time, their judgment as far as putting it in park versus neutral drive, all of those things could have been compromised. I don't want to speculate because I don't know the condition of the person who was driving the shuttle bus or any of that. But once again, I just know that it is a tragedy, and we all have to just be aware of our surroundings. That's the thing about it. You know, when you're at these cruise terminals and these cruise ports, you have so much traffic coming in from Ubers to different shuttle bus companies that are all, you know, descending up on one place at one time. So you have to look out for yourself and just make sure there's no traffic, anything. I know we're all there to have a great time, and unfortunately it's things like this that actually put a hamper onto the vacation moving forward. So once again, I just wanted to bring you guys these two stories. Let me know in the comments what you think about it. How do you think that the bus actually ended up moving even though he had gotten off the bus? Do you think it was actually engaged? Do you think it may have been something with the braking system? Also, what do you think about the warning systems for the cruise lines? What do you think they should implement for cruise passengers who may go overboard? Because once again, it seems like it's happening on more of a frequent occurrence. And so what should they do to address this situation? What are some of the things that you guys think would be a good idea for the cruise lines to implement as far as that? But once again, I don't want to leave your day with a bunch of sad stories. I hope that you all have an amazing, amazing rest of your weekend and have a beautiful week coming forward. And once again, like I said in the beginning of the video, thank you all who have subscribed so far and helping me to make these videos to where you guys are actually engaging and actually, you know, letting me know that you're enjoying the content. So once again, thank you from the bottom of my heart, and I'll see you guys next time.